And bam! How's it going, family? How's it going? Once again, it's the Xerox twins going live for the bereaved, sick, and shut-in. Bruh, we always got something going. What do we have going on today? Man, listen, all over the nation, you've been hearing about Mr. Carmelo Anthony. Big case. And so, of course, we're here Wednesday night, best live ever. Best live ever. Xerox Twins. I'm Blue. I'm Red Bull. Amen. Again, we are actually having a bulletin here. Yeah. A bulletin. Yeah. And because we want to talk about our justice system. And we have some people that's coming on that's going to give their account and what they believe happened in this case. In point of view as well. Right. Yeah. If you didn't know, first of all, I want to give homage to my daughter, which we present this show to. Karma Capone, also my daughter, lost her domestic violence. But beyond that, we want to speak about this trial with Carmelo Anthony, which is it's not surprising to us, surprising to most. But again, we already knew the outcome, and we're going to tell you how we knew the outcome. But again, we're here, best live ever. What we learned, we laughed, and we learned how to live our best lives together. Of course, again, we're here, the Xerox Twins, doing what we do, man, boots on the ground, doing our due diligence. If you have any questions, comments, and what have you, if you want to come on the show, make sure that you guys let us know and what have you. I always send out an invitation. An invitation for an invitation. So family, y'all make sure that y'all tune in, you know what I'm saying, every Wednesday night. Xerox Twins Best Live ever. 8-ish. Right. Yes. Again, family, we're here tonight. Wake up. Speaking about Mr. Carmelo Anthony, our first guest. Yes. Yeah, the verdict and what have you. We're going to allow them, our guests, to give you a synopsis of what this case is about. And so we're going to kind of play it out from beginning to the end to the best of our ability. Yeah. So that we can paint a picture, and so that we can get an understanding about the verdict. Yeah. So what we're doing, we're coming from different point of views because everybody see things. Well, most people see things from a different point of view. They don't always say that the way that I'm looking, what the direction I'm looking from is the proper perspective of where I'm looking from. Not saying that somebody else don't have the proper perspective. You follow me? So we're going to dive into this and get from some different point of views about what each and every individual observed when it comes to this particular case. So, all right, family. Without further ado, our first guest, man, we love and revere him to the utmost. You know what I'm saying? Right. One who's boots on the ground at all times. You know what I'm saying? But you already know we don't introduce. Why, bro? We allow him to introduce himself because he knows himself better than we know him. Man, tell us who you are and why you're here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
All right, I'm Cliff Sparks, y'all. Most of y'all know who I am if you tuned in on Facebook. The majority of y'all know who I am.
And you're here with what we're talking about, Cliff?
So tonight we're talking about the Carmelo Anthony case and what took place, which we know is some type of lynching to our black young man. And so the whole situation, the way the case went, the way it went so fast and 3 or 4 days, it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it before.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking. Our system is been messed up, right? So, and at this point, I don't even know how to fix the situation. I mean, how do we go from how do we go to fix this? How can we fix this system?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
first of
A
all,
really
you got
good
to get out and
question.
exercise your right to vote and vote these folks out of office. That's the
Wow.
first. That's the first thing.
Yeah. And
And
not only that, Cliff, you're speaking about that. Our judges, right? Our prosecutors, we vote for all that. And so again, if you're not abreast and you don't know what's going on with the politics and the structure of government, man, this is why we are ending up with these type of cases. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, hey man, we got another guest
on here, man.
right as well. You know what I'm saying? Man, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and so we can talk about this thing, man.
Hey, y'all. My name's Casey. I'm really kind of flabbergasted by this whole deal. I have the kind of the same outlook. I don't know where we begin to fix this besides voting. I don't know what comes after that, but really just like what I've dissected another case that happened in 2022 that's kind of the same deal. And with this case, if you look at both of the things that happened, they're pretty much the same. And two completely different outcomes. Completely different outcomes.
Right.
So, I mean, I can get more in depth with it here in a
Well,
little bit.
yeah,
But like
okay.
that's how I feel about it right now. I just don't even
Right.
know where we begin besides voting to
Right.
change.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Cliff, I know that you've been keeping up with it, man, and you haven't spoke much about it. I saw you speaking a little bit, and I see that you're perturbed. I see that you are disgusted with the outcome. Not only that, the system itself. Give us a brief outline of what we're speaking about with this case, how it came about from your perspective.
Well, I can tell you now. The prosecution didn't have enough evidence, right? I'm sorry. Tell them to give you some. My daughter.
Okay.
They didn't have enough evidence to even enough evidence to prosecute this young man. You get
Right.
what I'm saying?
So give us,
Everybody. Uh-huh.
I'm asking for the story. Give us
Okay,
your
so to run down on the story from
right.
me on the outside looking in, it's raining outside of the track field, right? You got the guys over under the tent. One of his friends call him over to the tent. Chewing popcorns. Friends call him over to the tent, and one of his friends call him over to the tent. He sit down, they talking, whatever. Here come these two big white boys come up, and what are you doing in my tent? You don't not supposed to be up in there being all aggressive and stuff, right? So with him being aggressive, they all up on him, and from what I'm hearing is, and y'all, if you heard it, correct me if I'm wrong. He threatened him. He threatened Carmelio, talking about I'll move you up under here or or whatever. Threatened him, talking about putting his hands on him. And Carmelio said, "Well, go on and move me. Watch what happens." You know what I'm saying? So, and he put his hands on this man. You put your hands on this man. You pushed this man. You shoved him. Like you put your paws on this man, right? And so after this took place, a lot of people not understand this. It wasn't even a knife. It was a cleat sharpener, right? So a cleat sharpener is have all these little different tools on it that you sharpen your cleats with. And so when if you ask me, I believe he leaned up against that boy so heavy and punctured himself.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? That's just me.
yeah.
That's me speculating. Um, and so when he seen that the boy was bleeding, he got up and ran to the coach. He wasn't running away from the scene. He ran to the coach,
Mm.
and explained to the
So
coach
he
what
actually
happened.
ran to the coach.
Huh?
So Carmelo actually ran to the
Oh
coach.
yeah, he ran to the coach. Yeah,
Okay.
and he break down crying, and he said that you know uh he poked he stabbed the old boy or whatever. Um, and he was explaining to him what was going on, and he says it's self defense. If I'm not mistaken, that's what he asked. That's what he asked the officer. Or he asked he asked the officer or either the coach, one of them. But the boy was crying. He says he's still alive, right? He's still alive. So you can tell that he was hurt about the situation, and you can tell he wanted the boy to live. So it wasn't that he intended to kill this young man. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
so on the body cam footage, he was talking to the officer. He cooperated, put his hands up, he put his hands behind the back. He was asking questions, and somebody, if I'm not mistaken, somebody said allegedly. He said, "No, I did it. I did it." He admitted that he did it. You see what I'm saying? So it all boils down is this young man got bullied for sitting up under the tent, and it was raining that day.
Right. Right.
It was
Yeah. And so Cliff, I also heard that these guys were are actually suspended and weren't supposed to be on
Was
school
not supposed to
premises.
be there. Was not supposed.
Okay.
They were suspended. They was not supposed to be there.
Right.
that's another technicality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so was it others involved besides the twins?
So it was the twins. It was his friend, and I guess there may be some other kids out there that probably witnessed it or whatever. But it wasn't too many. Everybody that got on the stand lied. Everybody had a different story. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody had a different story.
Wow.
That's what perspective. That's why we having this conversation.
Yeah.
Because even us that's on the panel, you understand, we got a different perspective on what we've heard, what we've seen, what we can imagine when other people are speaking about it, and what we want to happen, to have happened. You follow me?
Yeah.
So let's go
Yeah.
run over cases.
Yeah,
Was this
yeah.
account?
Yeah. When you got the news, what was it like to you? Was it something automatically in your mind saying, "Oh wow, this is deep"? What was your first reaction to, and what did you know about it?
What I'll preface before I say anything, it's like I'm probably not as far into the actual details of like what was said between the twins to him and stuff like that. But I've read the gist. I've been at work, so like from what I understand is like from what I understand, this whole family, the twins and the dad, like they have problems either with bullying or like they were in trouble being suspended.
Yep.
So like there is prior action from how they act in general that caused this kid, Mr. Anthony, to feel a little threatened when they back him into a corner for more reasons than just being backed into a corner,
Oh, okay.
backed into under the
So
tent.
reputation. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So like, I mean, when you have a reputation of something like that, like you're gonna want to protect yourself if you know that these kids have an issue with anger, or if the family has issues with like family violence, things like that. So,
Wow.
I mean, I really think that obviously I think the punishment's harsh, very harsh. I felt like the trial was very quick. I don't like the way that the jury was set up. There's a lot of different things that we can look at and we can think about and wish that these things would be different.
Right.
But this is just the reality of what today's society is.
Mhm.
And that's why we say like we don't know where to fix it. We don't know where to start
Right.
besides voting. So with these two kids and I pray for all the families involved.
Right.
But it's like we need to like get these kids some help for their anger issues, and also we need to try to get Mr. Anthony a better trial with this appeal that he made.
I agree.
So like I feel like everybody in this situation can get better, and there's always room for growth. So like I'm kind of trying to look at it from both perspectives, but I mean it sometimes it's hard when you have stuff like that. So
Right.
I mean that's kind of where I'm at with it right now, besides what I'll talk about later with this other case that I've seen. So
Yeah. Right. So Cliff, tell me a little bit about, did you have hope in this trial, or did you kind of see how it was leading from the jump start?
Well, I can tell you now, gentlemen, I had hope, but after I seen prosecution rest his case so quick, yeah, that hope went away.
Mhm.
That hope went away.
So
This young
what,
man, did not get a fair trial.
what in your mind when you say the prosecutor arrest? What in your mind? What tells you that's danger there?
When I heard that it arrested, I said to myself, they don't have enough evidence. You don't have enough evidence on this case to try to prosecute this young man. And so, like I said, I've never seen nothing like this ever in my life. Doing a murder trial, these trials normally last 3 weeks, right?
Right.
And for this trial to last, I mean, it was like bam, 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 sentencing, and then you already in TDC, TDC. I'm like,
Yeah. I want to.
everything you see that happened, it was already planned. And I'm gonna say
Mhm.
this: the judge should have recused himself from this case. It should this trial should not even been in Collin County. It should have been in a different county with the publicity that it had.
Wow.
I want to ask you, do you think because of the circumstances at the track meet, do you think that they was charging the wrong group? I mean, the wrong people, the wrong person? Should have the group that was bullying him or jumping on him should have been charged outside of him being charged? Do you
So
think?
I can say this: he was assaulted
Yeah.
before the other situation took place.
Right.
Right? He did not intend to kill his young man. If he did, he wouldn't have broke down and asked, "Is he gonna still live?" Like he was concerned about that. He was, and the jury should have looked at that. Which that's another story because
Mhm.
they made up in their mind what they wanted to do anyway. You know.
Right.
So with that being said, he if he was still alive today, he should have been charged first. He should have been charged for assault because you put your hands on a young man.
Right.
Yeah. So
You know what I'm saying?
so let's speak about the jury. Do you think that the jury was predominantly I'm gonna use the word white because I know the definition of white. Now, let me give you the definition. This is why it's called a bulletin because I also putting a bullet in certain positions where we can pay attention to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
The word white in legalese is a citizen. A citizen is someone that comes from another country over to the Americas. Okay? So every foreigner, whether they that had roots in other countries, they are considered white. We got so-called Africans. Well, we got Africans that come over here from Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
On their paperwork, because they are foreigners and their roots are not from the Americas, they are considered white. So this is, actual facts when it comes to all white jury. They foreigners. Not saying that they are all Caucasian because they use the Asians, you use their Asians and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why it's very imperative that we speak about facts when it comes to things that we know. If we don't know, we just don't know. You
Exactly.
follow? Yeah. So do you think that they didn't allow a so-called black, one of his peers to be a part of the jury because instead of facts being presented, then we have emotion that may sway the outcome? Is
So I
that
can
possible?
tell you, you had quite a few qualified black people that should have been on the jury. You had teachers. They didn't want them on there because they were teachers. Um, but we had qualified people that could have been on a jury, right?
Right.
So my thing of it is, when it first came out, I didn't look at it as a black and white thing, right?
Okay.
I didn't look at it as a black and white thing until they picked this jury.
Wow. I think that's what
You
they wanted the
chose.
reaction.
Go ahead.
I think they wanted the reaction
Exactly, and that's what triggered
yeah.
everybody.
That's what triggered everybody.
Yes.
But what happened was, because you didn't see a black on the jury, it triggered you. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I always say this: whenever you claim a race, you immediately become a racist yourself.
Yeah.
That's just that's what I say all the time. So when you claim a race, you become a racist because you would think that your race is either less, because you can compare to other races from then there forward. So you think your race would be least than other races or more than other races. You follow me?
Yeah.
So Cliff, if okay, so
I think that, race play a part in our lives, period.
Yeah. Most definitely.
And we can't get around this.
Right.
This country is built upon racism, and it thrives behind race and racism. But it try and color the racism with it being more of homogenized with a lot of different ethnics, backgrounds, and what have you. But we're still dealing with racism.
the
Now,
underline.
right, the underlying. So the bottom line is we have a racist country, period. I
Almost
want to
definitely.
know, it didn't strike raise a flag when you have a murder charge versus a manslaughter or something to that degree. It didn't dawn on you that it was racially motivated, even with the charge itself.
Most definitely. Yes.
Mhm.
Because if it was the other way around, he wouldn't even be convicted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't been charged with murder. You know what he'd been charged with? Either he would have got not guilty,
Mhm.
or he would have got manslaughter. But more than likely, he would have got not guilty.
Not guilty. Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you speaking about the other two cases. How were they? How were they in comparison?
Okay, so this is where what he's talking about, it comes into play. In 2022, there was a young man by the name of Casey Allison. He does the same thing. He goes into a school, he stabs a classmate in school, and goes on record admitting it, confessed on video, all of it's on video. He ran from the scene as well, and his jury gave him not guilty of murder, not guilty of manslaughter, and they only gave him a 10-year sentence. So, and the young man's white.
Yeah.
I definitely see where in the jury, like where having somebody of the same race would cause a little bit of emotional distress or emotional anything. So I get that point as well. Not gonna lie, didn't even think about that until just now. You know what I mean? So like
Right.
now that I'm sitting here pondering on it, like yes, it could cause a lot of emotional distress. And then you have this case where the young man definitely was assaulted, and it was a whole different situation. Like yes, he obviously admitted to doing it because he was trying to make sure the other guy was okay, and he was trying to, you know what I mean? So like, and then he gets convicted of murder and gets 35 years, but it's the same type of case. And like Casey Allison's was even on video, and he admits to it on record that yes, I stabbed this dude to death. So like, I just think that there's so many different ways that, and I hate to say it, white people get charged and black people get charged. It sucks. That's where I think that this whole system needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Let me I heard a little bit about that particular case. And so what I've heard about it is Casey, what's his name?
Casey.
Casey. Him and this other guy was having a beef on Facebook, so to speak. And basically they called each other out to meet at the school. They met at the school. They went into the restroom to square off, to fight. Well, Kaysen pulled out the knife, started cutting the other guy. Right? Now, a duel, like in the cowboy days, is an actual duel, meaning we agree to do this. Follow me?
Yeah, but did they agree to a duel with weapons involved? Or did they agree to just throw their dukes up and let's punch this out?
Yes. So this right there it brings me to it brings me to a whole nother aspect when it comes to Carmelo Anthony. Okay. So maybe you can finish this sentence when I start. Don't bring a knife to a
gunfight.
Don't bring a knife to a
Fist fight.
Okay. You see the difference?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This kid brings a knife to a supposed
Fist fight.
a duel.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna duke it out, and then he stabs this dude to death, admits it on camera, it's on video, and he's not convicted of murder. He's not convicted of manslaughter, and he gets 10 years.
Right.
And Carmelo Anthony's case, he gets 35 and he's convicted of murder. Do we know if that's race motivated? We don't. And we never will.
Well, the charge itself is racially motivated. Because
Yeah.
for one, we know that he didn't. Murder is when you more or less have the intent.
For sure.
Something in your mind tell you gonna go back, you gonna go, and you gonna cause some harm.
But you just tell me this. It could have been when he says, touch me and see what happens. Is that a verbal threat, or is it coercion, or is it a what they call it?
But I don't
entrapment.
I don't think it's a threat.
Instigating.
But I don't think it's a threat when you gave an option. The option was, if you touch me, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Option is leave before something happens.
Right.
There was an option. And so again, with the other case, there was no option, right? It was just comeback. And one had, you know what I'm saying, a knife and went to cutting on the other guy. So again, even with that, the charge, like you said, Cliff, it wasn't a knife. It was something used as a weapon, right? Yeah. Not only that, right? We're dealing with being surrounded by guys bigger than you, and more than one. And so again, with that being said, had it been wasn't no incident with the knife or whatever, that would have been aggravated assault, just because it was more than one that jumped him. So again,
but you know how the way that they laid the case out, they played the case out, it was as if Carmelo and the twin was the only ones involved.
right.
You follow me? Austin, they laid it out as if those were the only two that was involved. And
No, that's not right. That's not true though, because both of the brothers teamed up on him.
yes,
So he had something to do with it as well.
right,
Exactly.
right. But like I say, the way that they laid it out, the media laid it out as if it was just one-on-one. You follow me? The twin was just in the midst of.
And so again, Cliff, we're speaking media, and
Media.
I invited Pretty Girl News. Y'all go check out. She's very, very good as well. A long day and what have you. And thanks so much for accepting the invitation of Pretty Girl. I know that you was tired, but anyway, a Cliff, the media.
Yeah.
And the media, they did more
Bias.
damage than anybody in the courtroom, right? The media was the one that showed Carmelo with the dreads and what have you, and they tried to paint a picture. The media was the one that was saying that it was a knife. So again, it's the media. It was no so-called. They said not. And so with the media, they are just as they're the worst, our worst enemy. We find out that all the allegations that were said and done was not true, but it comes through the media, and so now we have we're misguided. They showed all of the bickering and what have you from what I saw and what have you. It's the media. They discard the things that makes it fair. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I can say this. It's not only the media, but it's the bloggers as well.
Right.
You got bloggers that's on ManCap side that's reporting what they want to report, right?
Right.
And then you got people on Carmelio side that's reporting what they want to report. When you report something, report the full story, right?
Mhm.
So it's not just the media, but it's these bloggers too. You
Right.
know, you got bloggers taking pictures of the protesters, talking bad about them. You know, like you can't. It's their right to protest. You know, it's their Fifth Amendment right protest. So what kills me is Caucasian white people. They're the main ones, and then you got some coons that's out here that is going against our people because of what they believe in and what they believe. You know, that Camilla was right. So as you've seen yesterday, that candidate, the black guy that got put in jail because they said it was he's one of the protesters. He come out there and stirring up a bunch of mess with the black people, and so he wound up going to jail for putting his hands on for pushing somebody. Another thing, you go putting your hand on somebody. You got to keep your hands to yourself.
Right.
These
Yeah.
folks need to understand. I don't care about you doing all that talking, but keep your hands to yourself because that could have been another incident where he could have been gone when somebody could have stuck something in him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
They,
Let
they,
me
they need to understand. Keep your hands to yourself.
yeah. So I'm gonna take this walk real quick, right? And it might be a slow stroll. Red Bull, put most blame on his parents, on Carmelo Anthony's parents, mainly for, I would say, moving out the hood, moving away from the tribe, you understand, moving on up, so to speak, and separating from the flock. This is what Red Bull, this is me, I'm speaking. Separating from the flock. The reason why I say that is this. If a bear, if a family of bears move into the woods where there's wolves and they leave the cub somewhere by itself, then the wolves are going to act according to the nature. So with that being said, I was playing with this earlier today, the song Minute by Minute by Minute by Minute. That's where we stop living minute by minute. And I say that to say the minute Carmelo realized that he was out of bounds, in other words, that he was not under his flag that governs him and his team. When you go up under the tent of somebody else's team, then you're out of bounds from their perspective. And when they asked him to leave from up under the tent, he stands up and say, no, make me leave, and I'm gonna leave when I want to, but don't touch me before I get ready to leave if I want to. Now, I look at it as you being out of bounds, and You got 60 seconds.
Yo,
You got a minute to realize that and remove yourself. It's the way I view it. As far as the bullying and everything like that, it's like, man, after I asked you the first time, that's a warning. I asked you the second time, it's a warning. The third time, I'm going to move you. Then the fourth time, I'm going to remove you. You follow me?
okay.
So it's almost like somebody coming to your home, to your porch, and they knock on your door to say, "Hey, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with you. You go ahead and
Ooh,
get off my property and leave it at that."
I mean, for that, I don't buy it. You know, people trying to move and do some certain things that they think is better for their children, regardless. If it's still happening in the inner cities or the ghettos, it's still gonna happen anywhere. So it don't
Yeah.
matter where you are. We're dealing with racism to the utmost. We know and understand that they believe and they showed where the worst of them is equal to the best of us. And they showed us that. And they continue to show us that. Right? And what I mean by that, Cliff, is that as much as those boys are bullying, suspended, in trouble, and what have you,
beat their mamas and daddies up too.
exactly. Even though that we had another, on the other hand, someone who's more of a model, you know what I'm saying? Good grades, sports, job, and what have you. We still dealing with the worst of the worst, and that's just pure plain racism. And if it was even in our children are being disenfranchised over the board, you know, from the not just the citizen, but for the cases itself, the charges itself, the punishment, all of that. So it's just, again, it's completely racially motivated. We can't get around it, and we got to go through it. And so, no, it's not. You can't blame. How you gonna blame it on somebody?
I say it sounds good. It sounds good, but did they go to Carmelo or did Carmelo go to them?
So this is the thing. His friend called him over there. They're not grown. You don't have no right to say nothing to this boy. I mean, you don't own the tent. The school own the tent. You don't own that property. Now, if you own that property, now we talking different. But
You talking about teenagers. You talking about teenagers.
It's a school property.
It's school, right? So when you go to a high school, you got a rivalry high school. I remember Dunbar had a rivalry high school pop.
But it still don't call for anybody to touch you, man. That's just pure plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? That's just disrupting to human beings, period. That's all that is. It don't matter who it is and what it is.
Of course.
It's just pure
But
plain
look at the outcome.
I
told you minute by minute
to talk about it.
It's still minute by minute.
Hindsight is 20/20.
He had a minute to get up out of there.
No, nobody had to.
You follow me?
But see, this is the thing, though. You saying he had a minute. You saying he had a minute. I'm putting myself in Carmelio's shoes. Don't say shit to me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here talking to my friend. Why are you coming to me asking me to move?
Exactly.
Why are you even talking? Why are you even talking to me? I'm talking. My friend called me over. Why are you even talking to me? You have no business saying nothing to me about being under no. You don't own this tent.
Did you not know that his friend denied him
His friend the one called him over there.
Did you know he denied him during the trial?
Well, I can tell you this: if he denied him during the trial, then that got something to do with the prosecution.
Exactly.
Because they stage the kids and tell them what to say. They stage the kids and tell them what to say. That's why every one of them got there and lied.
We're going by what we think happened, what we thought should happen, but I'm going by facts. The facts is what? He was out of bounds. He was under somebody else's tent. That was not his banner that he was sitting under. He went to them. They didn't come
So
to
do you
him.
think he's the only one that wasn't up under that tent, or the one that they went to?
Now you're moving the goalpost.
No,
You're
what
moving
you
the
mean?
goalpost.
How is he out of bounds? What is out of bounds? Was he out of bounds when he came on their side of the field?
Okay, so
Was he out of bounds
so
when he
you
came on
telling
their
me-
side of the field?
so you telling me
What
it's
is out of
okay?
bounds?
You telling me it's okay for a
Bill,
blood for
I
a
don't
blood
think-
to go?
I don't think he was out of bounds.
Okay,
I
then.
think when his friend called him over to talk, and it was raining. We got to put that out there. It was raining.
Okay, then.
You know,
It wasn't.
I mean,
It wasn't that he was over there.
these are
Cliff. It was
kids,
that-
man. So
Right.
with that being said,
that kid.
other kids gonna be under other schools' tents talking, at least talking to him. But when you walk up on him, tell him to move, get your ass out the way. You ain't got no business telling me to move.
Don't have no
Get your
business.
get your big old self out the way and get out in front of me. Cause
Listen.
they both was all up on him close. Like, get up off of me.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
that situation can be
Well,
just as serious as gang rivalry. Do you think a blood would go to a Crips territory knowingly? That's just how serious they could have been.
that part right there.
We talking
That
about
part right there.
schools, man. We talking
I
about
can't
schools.
even compare that with this situation.
Exactly. We talking about
It-
schools.
That
We
those
don't
kids,
understand.
those
Yeah,
kids
we
not in the
already
game.
know.
And you know, I can't compare a gang situation with this situation.
A game with a
Okay,
game
now watch
situation.
this.
Game and game.
They were playing
Two
football.
different things.
They played football, right?
Game and game, the two different
He was the what's the head of the football captain of the football team. Carmelo was captain of the football team, and the twins play football. While they were sitting over there talking,
Bro,
Carmelo
they
was
out of
supposed to
bounds.
have said,
They were out of bounds.
"Y'all
because They
team
weren't supposed
suck.
to be.
Y'all team, the football team suck over here." You follow me? Is that something that provoke them into doing what they wanted to do to him?
You
at
said
that
you
time?
said you said he told him what?
That the team suck. Y'all team suck.
I can't believe him saying that. I don't believe he said that.
Okay, so you can't believe him saying that, but you believe everything else that was said.
What difference?
I don't believe he said that. I
At the
believe his
bottom-
friend called him over there, like when he said in the trial. He called Carmelo over there. He just didn't walk over there by himself. He called him over there.
It doesn't matter. He still was out of bounds.
I don't think so.
I don't agree with that. That's true.
It showed in the actions of the people. Man, you need to get up from up out about 10. You out of bounds.
Only two people said something was them two twins.
Exactly.
No,
Only two people said something.
Who regulated out of bounds though? Did the coach say it?
I'm saying that he
What did
was
the
out of
coach
bounds.
say?
Did that dope said? Did that dope said though?
The coach wasn't there.
But how do you consider it out of bounds? What's out of bounds at a school?
And that's at a track meet, at a whole track meet.
Exactly. The cheerleaders call the cheerleaders on the other side to cheerlead with them.
You see why?
What is out of bounds?
You see why they didn't have no black jurors? Because emotion. That would have taken the 3 weeks. That would have taken the 3 weeks.
So let's say this. You say emotions, but hell, you got a white person on the jury crying. That's emotions.
Exactly, man.
So the same people
All
that's
of them got
on the
emotions.
jury, emotions.
Everybody that was on that jury have
Emotions.
emotions, and they use their emotions.
Exactly.
You can't get around it.
I'm stating facts.
What's the fact?
I'm
You ain't
stating
saying no
facts.
fact. What's fact? You just talking about that's an opinion. That's why you say it's Red Bull. That's your opinion.
Yeah, that's
Trying
my
to
opinion.
justify.
I'm
Are you
stating
serious, man.
I'm stating facts.
I feel like with all this out of bounds talk, I feel like where if I don't look at anything in all of this and I don't try to look into it, I feel like where we're out of bounds is America's out of bounds. We're out of bounds because things aren't taught to kids these days as far as like being able to talk to each other like men so that a situation like this doesn't even happen, to where to where people can talk to each other with respect instead of looking at a phone.
If you
typing
go
stuff.
out of
So I feel
bounds,
like,
if you-
I
if
feel
you
like
go to-
America's out of bounds.
If you
Like,
go
all
to
out
a
of
Dallas
bounds.
Cowboy, if you go to a Dallas Cowboy game, and I don't even watch sports, you're not going to see somebody sitting in the Dallas Cowboy side with a Redskin shirt.
Yes, you do
Yeah,
all the time.
they've done it
They all the time.
They-
Yeah, that's why
they
you
done
don't
it.
watch it. You don't
They
all the
watch
done
it.
time.
So you
But
can't-
watch this. They done it. But you remember that when they did it, didn't you? You know exactly what they did because you can visualize what they do because you look at them as they was out of bounds
Go in the house.
and you knew that. And I bet you said to yourself,
but they don't.
man, that
They
dude's
don't cause
taking
you
a
to put
chance.
your hands
That
on.
dude is taking a chance.
They don't cause you to. They
How
got
do
the
you
right.
know?
They
How
got
do
the
you
right
know?
to cheer for their team wherever it may be.
How do you know? How do you know? You don't know.
They got the right to cheer for their team wherever they may be. That's what it's about. Ain't
I'm
no
gonna
out of
say
bounds.
this. I'm gonna say this, and this is just me speaking. I don't think he was out of bounds. I think from what the little boy said on the stand that he called him over there and they were talking, and then the twins approached him while they were talking. They were talking. He approached them. Hey, what are you doing over here? You're not supposed to be over here. What the hell? You can't tell me why I can and can't go.
When he said you're not supposed to be over here, he was giving indication you're out of bounds.
He shouldn't have said nothing to the boy. He should have kept his little thoughts to himself and
You
let
talking
that boy
about
leave
teenagers.
whenever he gonna leave
You're
or whenever the
speaking
game
about
gonna start.
teenagers. You're speaking about teenagers.
You know,
You're speaking about teenagers that's bullies.
because eventually he
speaking
was
about-
gonna leave. If that boy wouldn't approach him when he got done talking to his friend, he was gonna go back to his area.
He what?
He was gonna go back to his area eventually when he got done talking to his friend.
Okay.
So my
he
thing of
didn't
it
do it
is,
the minute
they
that he
wrong
should
for
have
even
done it.
saying something to him because they're not grown. You're
But
not
how-
the teacher. You're not
how
the
you
coach.
judge-
You're not the principal. You're not the
Exactly.
police officer that work on the campus. So you shouldn't have said shit to him.
Pure, plain and simple.
This is what
They're not
this is
regulated.
what they wanted. This is what they wanted. They wanted to be. Because they bullies.
Of course they wanted the beef.
But
And that's just what that's that Lord forgive me, but that's why that's just why he got what he was looking for. He got just what he wanted.
right.
You should have left that boy alone. You shouldn't have put your hands on him. I teach my kids, keep your hands to yourself. If it was the other way around, it was my kid, then I'm hurt. But my kid would have been wrong. You get what I'm saying? Right is right now. Wrong is wrong. You should have put your hands on this boy.
That's a moral sense. That's what you're trying to come from, a
There
moral
is
sense.
consequences when you touch folks.
I agree with you with that. I agree with you with that. But he was out of bounds.
I don't think I can't agree with that, twin.
I mean,
I
no,
can't agree with
that don't make
me
no,
personally. I can't agree with that
no.
Okay.
Ain't no
because
out
when you go to these games,
Yeah,
kids kids make friends on other teams.
But the
You can't stop them from going to go talk to their friends.
You got
If nobody, if it's not an adult saying nothing, shouldn't the other kid be saying something?
That ain't got nothing to do with being out of bounds. That's a mindset,
The
man.
consequence
The,
shows
the out of bounds was in the minds of the individual, man. They ain't got nothing to do with no being in no place.
All right.
It's with the individual.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? People be on the other side of you have more Redskins on the Cowboy side than you do Cowboys. It don't make a difference. You don't touch nobody. You don't regulate nothing to
Well,
nobody.
that's what you need to
If
be
that's the
preaching.
case,
You should be preaching that to
Preaching
those
what?
twins. You should have been preaching that to those twins before they touched you.
what? They know better. What you mean? They know better.
They know
So
better.
They know better.
Let me run this by.
They know better. You're right. They know better.
They just go
They
against what
should know better.
do.
But apparently they don't know better because they fight their mamas and daddies.
No, they don't care, man.
And they
You know
don't
what
care.
I'm saying? They don't care. They know better. They don't do better, but they know better.
But let me
Go
say
ahead,
this.
let me-
You know why they didn't put Hunter? You know why they didn't put Hunter on the stand? Because they know he was a part of it. They
He
didn't
was
want to put him
part
up
of
there. He was a part of
Okay.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Him along with some more of them.
Sorry,
So-
bastard.
So
He
y'all
was
hear
a
me
part
out.
of it.
If we're gonna talk about out of bounds, I have a perfect scenario for if you feel like this is morally right or not. The other night, game 3, Knicks and the Spurs. It's the first time that the Knicks have had a finals game in 27 years in the Garden. It's So everybody's hyped, everybody's ready to go. Great game, the Knicks lose. So afterwards, in the streets of New York, these Spurs fans are walking around, and one gets jumped by like 20 of them at one time, and then like 10 or 11 more Spurs fans had to hide behind cops that had all of their gear on, ready to go. And so is it morally right for those fans to be beat up because they were out of bounds? You know what I mean?
No.
Like because they're in New York.
I didn't say it was
No, I'm
morally
just saying.
right.
I'm just saying in general.
But that's a great example.
Yeah.
But look at here. Look at here. That's a great example,
Yeah.
right? They was out of bounds.
But they got beat up for no reason.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But how they out
You
of
just
bounds?
saw look, what I'm saying. Even
They're out of bounds
grown-up,
technically being
technically.
outside of San Antonio.
Yeah.
What I mean.
That's what I'm trying to show you.
That's why we got a free country, Cliff.
That's what I'm saying.
For us to
son.
roam,
It's not-
anywhere we want to roam.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
so it ain't no
It's not
out of
at
bounds.
all.
That's what
We
we want to live.
The only out of bounds is in the heads of those individuals
But that's
that
the way we
believe
wanna
that
live.
there's an out of bounds.
That's what
That's
we
the
want
only.
to
That's
live.
the only out of bounds.
But the fact shows
They're
at the track meet, the fact shows in New York that there's a such thing as out of bounds.
In the heads of people, man.
if
If that's the
there was,
case, why would
The fact shows.
if that's the case, when you let out a venue, when you let out an event and what have you, they gotta leave, right? Are they out of bounds when they leave that establishment? Are they out of bounds? That everything needs to be on the playing field.
they're
That's it, pure plain and simple.
That's
Right
what
there.
I'm
It's in
saying.
the minds of those individuals.
That's
That's why I
ideal.
bring that up, because there is no out of bounds
Exactly, no out of
anywhere.
bounds.
That's
There just
ideal.
isn't.
That's
That's
ideal
just
in
not
your
how that
mind.
works.
That's ideal in your mind, but evidently somebody else feels different.
That's it, because it's in their
Evidently,
mind.
a whole team feels different. A whole New York feels different. Evidently. So I'm just stating facts.
What's the fact?
The facts is there's a such thing as out of bounds.
In your mind, man.
Okay, all I say is we got to keep the babies from going out there and playing in the street. We got to keep them in the yard. The street is out of bounds.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna say this about my kids. My kids already know. We and it's not crazy, but I teach my kids. Somebody bully you, you take care of your business. Do what you got to do to protect yourself by any means necessary. You let them talk, but if they put their hands on you, you let them have it. You let them have it, and I teach my kids that. Don't let nobody bully you. Don't let nobody put their hands on you. Protect yourself by any means necessary. Now, I didn't say go kill him. I didn't say that. I said protect yourself. That boy was protecting himself.
But do you
He was not
also
intended to
tell
kill
them?
that boy.
But do you also tell them when there's danger, go ahead and move around? When you see that there's something ain't right, something not in your favor, go ahead and move around.
Well, I can say this.
I know one thing. If there was a dog in the room somewhere,
That's different.
No day.
That's different. The
Because-
dog ain't no human.
He already
Yeah.
knew what he was gonna
okay,
do.
so when they know that danger's there, that minute by minute, it clicks in.
Yeah.
It starts to work for them at that time. You follow?
But what do you do?
When do you
But
feel
listen,
like you?
What
when
do you
feel
do
like
when you got
Carmelo
two big old white
feels
boys up on you? What do you do? And they
When do
big
you-
and I'm skinny, and I got
Clear.
these two boys all up in my face.
But
What
Clear,
do you do?
When
think
do
I'm gonna
you
walk
think he felt the danger? When did you think he felt the danger?
Exactly. I'm not gonna walk off. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to protect my, because y'all all up in my grill,
Exactly.
all up in my face.
Because again,
And you did what you wanted to do for 35 years. That's what it comes
exactly. And do it again. And do it again.
Do it
Exactly.
again.
And do it again.
I'm with you on
Yeah.
that.
And do it again, man.
I'm with you on
Because
that.
when, the thing
But
about
like
it,
I say,
if you are innocent, not messing with nobody, and they come messing with you, you handle your business.
how
the
you
best
know
way
he
you
wasn't
can.
mad? How you
Stand
know he
your
wasn't
ground.
mocking him?
Stand your
How you
ground.
know he wasn't mocking him?
He's still in touch.
Big as y'all are, man, y'all losing all the football games. How y'all losing big as you are? How you know he wasn't mocking?
What difference do it make?
You follow me?
Are you serious? Are you serious? What difference do that make? Do that want for you to touch somebody?
Once again,
I'm not understanding. What?
I just stating facts.
All they gotta do is say, well, we'll see on the field.
I'm stating facts.
That's the only way you can prove it. That's the only way I can prove that you can't play.
Evidence have shown.
Is on
Yeah.
the field.
I don't care how grown you might be.
I can't prove that you can't play with us
Am I right?
fighting.
Evidence shows.
I can't prove that with us fighting, but I can prove it on the field.
Exactly.
So what difference do it make?
Evidence shows. Even
Again,
grown
fam,
folks
hey,
do the
we're
same
here.
thing.
Best life ever. What we love, we laugh, and we learn how to live our best lives
There we go.
together. We are here dealing and talking about the Carmelo Anthony murder case and conviction of 35 years. Cliff, that was extreme. We know that if he was charged with manslaughter, it hold from what, 2 to 20 or something like that.
20.
But what they ended up doing was giving the harsh, the harsh charge in order to make the harsh sentence as well. We are dealing with an injustice system that we deem unjust.
Well, let me say this. You say we're dealing with an injustice system, right? But we're also dealing with with a defense team that wouldn't worth a shit.
Well,
They didn't fight hard enough for this baby. You hear me?
Well, Cliff, let me give you a brief synopsis of what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a system that's working for what it was planned and made for. And so our thing is we continue to deal with a system that is against us and not for us, and we are mad at the system when it do what it's supposed to do in the first place. So again, we have to do more than just rant and rave. We gotta, you say vote, right? To get people in office and out of office, right? I say vote to dismantle the system the way that it's structured.
That's right.
And again, let's start over. But again, man, that's probably, you know what I'm saying, light years away from us right now. My thing is, the best that we can do is, again, Russ say we need to stay from out of bounds, whatever, wherever that may be.
Well, listen, when you know what's
Wherever that
out,
may be.
you know what's out of bounds for you, Cliff?
What?
Going into that court system, you out of bounds.
Mhm.
You're gonna lose. You out of bounds when you go into that court system.
Mhm.
You follow me?
But
Yeah,
again,
you're gonna lose.
but they come to you though, Cliff.
There's a such place of out of bounds.
Cliff, do you go to? When the last time you been in court that you went to just from voluntarily?
I haven't.
Hey man, they come to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, family, we're here. We want to thank Mr. Cliff Sparks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure that y'all go follow his page and what have you. We got Mr. Cody over here doing his thing, man. Thank you so much for joining us, giving us your brief opinion about such a harsh sentence for an innocent child, right? In my opinion, that has been caught up in a system that he, boy, Cliff, I've been there. It is a, wow. It is something that you can't even imagine being, first of all, in that court system. They say it's easy to get in and it's hard to get out of. But again, man, listen, to the best to both of those families, because hey man, to lose one in both situations is quite heartbreaking. It's a tragic situation.
Yeah.
Again, with the faults of whoever, right? I blame it on the system, period, because we shouldn't have to be in a mindset that a game, a tent, or what bragging rights or whatever should be one that would cause bodily harm, and more than that, the death of someone. So again, family, much love and respect. Make sure you like, share, and follow all the Zero on social media.
Yeah,
And what have you.
Start with a Z.
Man, this
End
is
with a Z.
we want to give our big ups and our props to our background. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Derek Simmons, Dead Sounds. Y'all make sure that y'all go look up Dead Sounds. Man, listen, he got the sound equipment, the lighting, the screens
Mm.
and what have you. Not only that, he put those
Cameras as well.
He installed all that as well. A big up to DS Sounds, Mr. Derek Simmons. Hey man, Cliff, man, I know, man, we've been seeing this stuff on social media, and it has been heartbreaking. I've seen a lot of the footage of them being outside of the courtroom and all the shouting, what have you. Again, we know that we are in a world of trouble. And
Oh, yeah.
29, we predicted the outcome some time ago. Like you said, Cliff, the case was a zippity bam, because they already knew that they had the juror, they had the judge, they had the prosecutor, and they had the lawyer on their team, right?
Mhm.
Against
Because they are all citizens.
right against one individual. And so again, we already know that no, the lawyer did a great job for the outcome that he expected and that he wanted. So again,
Something else
right,
I want
the
to
illusion of inclusion is something that we must adhere to, thinking that we're part of what's going on. And it's almost like a Cliff. We think they're laughing with us when they're laughing at us. So
Yeah.
again, go ahead, brother.
I want to illustrate this when it comes to the diaspora of that court system. Listen to this well. There's a such thing called a citizen. Then there's a such thing called a second-class citizen. If we had a lunchroom full of people and we asked the citizens to stand up, the citizens would be the foreigners that come to the Americas. The second-class citizens are the original Americans. Okay? The court system is set up for citizens. The second-class citizen don't belong in that court. A second-class citizen will not be heard in that court. It's almost like shouting in the wind or shouting on deaf ears. You cannot be heard. This is why the second-class citizen has to hire a citizen to speak for them in the courtroom. Therefore, when the citizen speaks for the second-class citizen, the citizen is speaking as if it's a citizen and is speaking in the favor of the citizens. This is the outcome that happens in that courtroom. Just like I tell you, Mr. Cliff, you're out of bounds in that courtroom because you're considered a second-class citizen and you're not heard. All you're weeping, you're crying, you're yelling, you understand? Your shouts out about racism and all that, you're not heard. So we have to learn how to stay out of that courtroom. It takes 1 minute to realize that you're out of bounds, and that minute you find out you're out of bounds, you get out of there within that 60 seconds. That's the remedy of a lot of things that's happening when it comes to this situation. He had a chance to get himself out of harm's way. He chose to stay there. I'm not saying that it was right for them or I'm justifying what happened, what took place after that. I am not. You follow me? I may have been the one that stood my ground. You follow? I would have been that one. I'm a warrior. You follow me? I am that one that would have stood my ground. But this right here is a situation that we have to start showing our youth and our elders, New Yorkers, you follow me? That we got to start thinking minute by minute. In the minute we feel like we're in confrontation with another human, another person, follow me? Another somebody, it's another body, then we have to move within those 60 seconds out of harm's way, because either they'll be harmed or you'll be harmed or we'll be harmed. You follow me? So this is all I'm saying. There's a such thing in my perspective of my perspective of out of bounds, and we have to learn how to recognize that. I'll leave with that.
All right, family, again, we're here,
Okay, Casey.
best live ever.
Like Casey,
Any closing remarks, KC, as we close this thing?
I really think y'all covered it. I think that there's a good mixture in here of different perspectives, so that everybody can kind of look at it through a different lens and through their lens and try to put it into perspective for what they want to see it as. Because ultimately, when it all boils down to it, every single person is going to see it in their own way, and that's just how life goes.
Exactly.
So, other than that, I just appreciate y'all having me on.
All right, clear. You know what I'm saying? Wrap to us, man.
All right, y'all. So, like I said, we got our own opinions. You know me. I'm for standing your grounds. Keep your hands to yourself. And so we're gonna see what happened. They have appealed the case. So we're gonna see what happened next, and then we'll just go from there.
Oh, well, yeah, Cliff, that's how it goes. And so what they do, they give them the harshest sentence and what have you. Give them chance for appeal.
Yeah.
By it being, so this was a case for the public. This wasn't Carmelo Anthony's. This wasn't his case.
His case.
It wasn't his case. This was the public case, right? And so what they'll do, they'll give him a trial. They'll give him a trial simply because it wasn't supposed to be a murder case in the first place,
Yeah.
right? So he can go on trial, get a retrial for manslaughter. And
Yeah.
so again, these are the ways that but to save face, they know that you can't poke racism, right? You can't put a hole in racism. If you put a hole in racism like a balloon, it may pop, right? And so again, they got to hold their grounds and they got to show their power. And one of the things I tell you, and what we want to know and recognize is their least is more than our best, and that's the way that's the way that they see it, and that's the way that they show it. And so again, family, we're here, best life ever. What we learn, we laugh, and we learn how to live our best life together. Again,
One thing I want to add to this is when we first started school, in kindergarten, they hand us a ruler. And that ruler has what? 12 inches on it. And if we don't follow the rules, those 12 inches might end up being 12 jewel rugs. Y'all don't get my jokes.
I get it.
anyway, you know what I'm saying? Much love. How do we end this thing, bro?
We always end this with, be humble, become more knowledgeable, that way you won't be vulnerable.
And I always say, we all we got.
And we all we need,
love and become lovable. All right, family. Much love and respect. Thank you, D.
All right, y'all.